Welcome back. Today, we're putting American and Delta head-to-head in a first-class showdown. We're hopping on one of the busiest Northeast routes between Washington, D.C. and Boston. We'll fly American up to Boston and then turn around and take Delta back down to D.C. Both flights will be on the same type of aircraft and both will be in first class. So any predictions for today?
I think these flights are going to be exactly the same. We'll see.
So come and join us as we take the Embraer 175 in domestic first class on both American and Delta to see how they compare on this busy route. Plus, stick around until the end and we'll tell you what we paid so you can determine if it's worth the upgrade. Welcome to Travel at Random. We're Trevor and Ryan. This channel started out of a love of travel. We're here to share unbiased and self-funded trip reports, hotel and flight reviews, and travel advice. We hope we inspire your next getaway. We have dozens of videos, so for even more content, check out the playlist in the description and browse the channel. If you enjoy the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content. You can also check out our channel memberships here and on Patreon for even more content. Thank you for watching. Good morning and welcome to Washington Reagan National Airport, airport code DCA. Before we board this flight, a quick overview of how we selected this route. This route between DC and Boston is popular, with American, Delta, and JetBlue flying it multiple times a day. And keen aviation observers may also note that American and Delta use their regional partner Republic to operate these flights.
So that begs the question, if both of these flights are operated by Republic, will there really be any difference between American and Delta? Let's find out.
American Airlines is up first today. DCA is a hub for American, and they operate out of Terminal 2 in the C, D, and E gates. The North Security Checkpoint is the closest. American has a bag drop and customer service desk here, so you can skip the check-in area upstairs entirely. If you are coming from the parking garage or the metro, this is right after the elevated walkway to the terminal. If you arrive by car on the departures level, American has check-in desks, kiosks, and bag drop locations up here as well. We're not taking any luggage with us today, but first-class tickets do include 2 free checked bags up to 70 pounds each. We were able to check in online 24 hours in advance. We like that the American app automatically pushed the boarding pass into our Apple Wallet, but we did find it strange there's no in-app version to fall back on. American, Delta, and United all have lounges at DCA, and there's an American Express Centurion Lounge and a Capital One landing.
American Airlines, like most U.S. carriers, does not give you access to the lounge with a domestic first-class ticket. So, no access to the Admiral's Lounge today.
If you'd like to see more about the lounges at DCA, we did a lounge showdown with the Delta Sky Club and American Express Centurion Lounge. We'll link that down in the description. Today we're here to compare flights, so let's head to our gate D41. Our 1 hour and 15-minute flight today takes us 400 miles from Washington Reagan National Airport to Boston Logan International Airport on board an Embraer 175 in domestic first class. American Airlines boards first-class passengers right after their concierge key status holders, the top tier for their biggest spenders. On board, there are 12 first-class seats in a 1-2 configuration, and 64 main cabin seats in a 2-2 configuration. 20 of those are main cabin extra legroom seats. The first class seats have 37 inches of pitch and are 20 inches wide with a 5-inch recline. The headrest is adjustable both up and down, and the wings fold in. Above the seat, there are overhead air vents and breathing lights. There is a small drink tray that extends from the front of the armrest, and below this are the universal power outlets and USB-A ports. The interior looks sleek with the dark gray upholstery, but the seat bottom was a bit hard. Thankfully, these planes operate mostly short routes. The tray table folds out of the right armrest. It was a little wobbly, but it did have a tab to rest on the center armrest, making it a little bit more sturdy. One important note, these 175s do have overhead bins that will accommodate a standard carry-on size roller bag. But in first class, the bins are only large enough on the side with the 2 seats. The bins are smaller on the solo seat side. During boarding, the flight attendant came around and offered a cup of ice water and a plastic cup as a pre-departure beverage. Boarding wrapped up early and we left our gate on time. It's a little rainy this morning, but enjoy the view and we'll be back in a moment. As we got to 10,000 feet, we got the standard welcome and the credit card sales pitch. There is no IFE system on this aircraft. There is supposed to be Wi-Fi, and the gate agent even touted it before boarding. American Airlines has started rolling out free Wi-Fi to their Advantage program members. Sadly, the Wi-Fi wasn't working on this flight, so no on-demand content. We always recommend downloading some content ahead of any trip. You never know when you might need it. This is a short flight, but as soon as we were up, the flight attendant came by with a bag of mixed nuts and took drink orders. Alcoholic drinks are free, but we opted for coffee on this 8:30 a.m. departure. Our 2 coffees arrived quickly and were served in ceramic mugs. Service on this flight was good. The flight attendant came by several times and kept drinks full. After a few cups of coffee and watching some content on our tablets, it was time for our approach and landing into Boston. We touched down about 15 minutes early and had a short taxi to the B gates. Welcome to Boston. That was the first flight. What did you think?
I thought the flight was good overall. Seat was a little hard. The service was brief, but it's a short flight. It's kind of expected. I'm looking forward to seeing what Delta has to offer.
I agree. I thought the flight was comfortable. The flight attendant in the first class cabin was attentive and kept my coffee refilled.
Yeah, he was very proactive.
Yep. On to Delta.
On to Delta.
We had a few hours to spend in Boston, so we checked out the airport. We're working on a separate Boston Lounge Showdown video. We'll have that coming out in the near future, so make sure to subscribe to be notified when it comes out. Boston's B, C, and E terminals are all connected airside, but Delta operates its domestic routes out of Terminal A. This is a Delta hub, and the check-in area is just inside the departures curve. First class tickets get access to the Sky Priority Lane. Just past the check-in hall, you'll find security. Boston does support touchless ID, which is great to see. Delta has 3 Sky Clubs and a Delta One lounge here in Boston, but just like American, a domestic first class ticket does not get you access. This route is the reverse of our American flight as we head from Boston back to Washington, D.C. Our Delta flight is departing from gate A11. We boarded about a half an hour late due to congestion in D.C. This isn't Delta or Republic's fault, and these kind of delays are common, so we'll give this a pass. We will say Delta could have communicated the delay better. Flighty knew about it hours in advance. Delta boards first class in Zone 1, immediately after pre-boarding. Premium Elite passengers, which is Delta 360 and Diamonds, board in Zone 2. Stepping on board, this is pretty much the exact same aircraft, but American Gray is replaced by Delta Blue upholstery. There are 12 first class seats in a 1-2 configuration, and 64 main cabin seats in a 2-2 configuration. 20 of those are Comfort Plus extra legroom seats. The first class seats appear to have a bit more pitch and are 20 inches wide with a 5-inch recline. We need one of Jeb Brooks' official greener grass tape measures to be sure, but there seemed to be slightly more legroom on Delta. The headrest is adjustable both up and down, and the wings adjust. There are also overhead air vents and reading lights. Similar to American, the seat was just as firm. The back on American was slightly more comfortable, but the bottom on both could have easily been a sheet of plywood. There is a universal power outlet with USB-A port at each seat. One of ours, unfortunately, was out of order. Waiting at our seats upon boarding were a couple of bottles of water. Delta provides us on all first-class flights. During boarding, a choice of pre-departure beverage was also offered. We got a couple of coffees, and these were better than American's. Delta serves Starbucks. American recently announced a partnership with Lavazza, so hopefully that improves their offering. Boarding wrapped up late due to the delay, and we left our gate. We had a quick stop while they de-iced the plane, but we were soon heading to the runway. Enjoy the snowy takeoff. While Delta offers seatback screens on most of its mainline fleet, there is no IFE system on Delta Connection flights. But there is Wi-Fi. Delta Airlines offers free Wi-Fi to their SkyMiles program members. Unlike the American flight, it did work today, but these 175s can be hit and miss. Speeds were good on our flight. This is a short flight, but as soon as we were in the air, drink service started. We opted for a pair of gin and tonics. It's been a long day. These were served in real glasses. The snack basket was brought around, and this was the standard first class selection. We love these honey mustard pretzels. The flight attendant working our cabin was attentive and did offer drink refills. There was a short period where the flight attendants had to be seated for turbulence, and she also assisted the flight attendant in economy, but overall, service was good. We've got a cloudy descent, which is why there was a delay in DC. Taxi times at DCA are typically short, and today was no exception. We pulled into the B gates about 29 minutes behind schedule.
So we've made it back to Reagan. It was a long day. What did you think?
So, unsurprisingly, the aircraft were pretty much identical. Maybe there was a little more legroom in Delta, but we'll have to look at the footage to actually see if that's true. I think the food and beverage on the Delta flight was better. Mm-hmm. There was a snack basket with a choice of options. There was a pre-departure beverage with a choice of options. Does that justify paying more than the American flight? No, I don't think so. They're both about the same seat, same space, same time. What did you think?
I agree. The aircraft is the same. The seats, while one is Delta upholstery and one is American upholstery, they're both essentially the same. The overhead bin space is the same. Yes, Delta has a little bit better, food and beverage with the pre-departure beverage and the snack basket, which, you don't get on American. Both flight attendants on both flights were good with drink refills. So I think it comes down to fare. And American is significantly less expensive. That one-way first-class fare on American was $150, and on Delta it was over $200. So I would say, unless you're loyal to Delta, American probably gets the win here.
And now we'll have to look back and we'll do this in the voiceover, but we do have the price for the round trip because unlike us, you're probably not flying one way.
Yes.
So those round trip prices we'll put in there, but I think that they followed the same pricing schedule very
correct. So we'll use voiceover and the magic of editing to show you all of the prices on the round trips. And I think you'll be surprised when it comes to economy and first class, what the difference is. And we'll throw in JetBlue for comparison. I know they don't have first class, but I think you'll be surprised.
So let's compare the two flights. When it comes to the seat, they're both similar. We think Delta had a touch more legroom. They were both equally hard. Delta offered a bottle of water and a choice of pre-departure beverage. American offered a cup of water. Delta also offered a choice of snack from the basket, whereas American provided just a bag of nuts. Wi-Fi was advertised on both flights, but it only worked on Delta. Neither plane had seatback screens. Both flights had friendly cabin crews. Now let's talk price. On American, for a one-way first-class ticket, we each paid $149. On Delta, we each redeemed about 18,000 Sky Miles for the one-way first-class ticket. Now we know many people will buy round-trip tickets, so we wanted to compare round-trip fares on American, Delta, and JetBlue on this route. Searching 30 days out, round-trip economy tickets on American started $174. On Delta, $171, and on JetBlue, $176. First class is $293 on American and $411 on Delta. In the end, the economy fares are almost identical between all three airlines. When it comes to first class, there's a premium for flying Delta. Based on the fares, we'd say the winner today was American. While Delta had a slightly more elevated experience, it didn't justify the price difference. So our recommendation, pick the airline and the flight time that best fits your schedule, unless you have status and want to use those benefits. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. What did you think of today's head-to-head? Let us know in the comments if you have a favorite and if you'd like to see us do more of these types of flight comparisons. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to stay up to date on our latest video releases. Both of these things really help out the channel.
Thank you for coming along with us today.
On to the next adventure.